Alright guys, new release day, always exciting with the new TG stuff, and I will show you a 1.5 card combo that you can use to make the King Calamity and basically lock your opponent out from playing the game entirely. So welcome back, we have the new TG stuff here and I want to show you a combo. I call it a 1.5 card combo because what you have to understand is that this is a discard card. So this, you will always have this on your hand. Obviously you are starting with 5 cards in your hand and you want to do the Calamity Lock combo when you are going first. So you will have this combo. So it's this card in your hand that you can discard. So it's not really a 1.5 card combo, but it's also not a 2 or 3 card combo because you will always have a discard in your hand. So that does not really count. And then you also need one guy that you can summon here, one of your TG monsters, but it does not really have to be the Rush Rhino, could also be something else. So once again, it's not really specific. The only card that you really need is the TG limiter removal. So that's why I'm calling this a 1.5 card combo, not a 3 card combo, because you need the discard that you will always have and you need one TG monster that you basically also will probably have in your hand. So then you only need the TG limiter removal. This is not a 1 card combo, but I, in my opinion, think it's also not a 2 or 3 card combo. But let's look at this and look at what we can do. We're activating the limiter removal, which says discard 1 card, add 2 TG monsters with different names from your deck to your graveyard. You are discarding the TG Cyber Magician. This will come up in a moment, but just remember this could also be an imperm or something. We are going to add the new card, the Rocket Salamander, and then I think this is an older card, the Booster Raptor, which if you control a TG monster, we can special summon this card from our hand. We are normal summoning the Rocket Salamander here, which he has not an important effect as of this moment, will come up later though. And now we can special summon the Booster Raptor here. Now we can use the Rocket Salamander's first effect. You can tribute one TG monster, special summon one TG monster from your deck with a different original name that the one attributed. We are attributing the Raptor and we are special summoning the Screw Serpent, which if this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one level 4 or lower TG monster in your graveyard except this one. Special summon that monster, but effects are negated. We are getting back the Raptor here to our field. Now we have 3 materials. Once again, you can see this deck works with materials to synchro climb up, you could say. And now we will go with the Rocket Salamander and the Screw Serpent to make the Dragonair. I think this is also a new one that we have gotten here. If this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon any number of TG monsters from a graveyard in a defense position. Important thing to note here, I have sent the Cyber Magician away. So just remember, this is also, or could also be, for example, an imperm. We will only summon these 2 here. We could also summon this guy, but as I already said, this is a random discard, not a TG monster per se. So we will not summon him and we don't need him for this combo. We will get back the Rocket Salamander and the Screw Serpent. Now we have more material. We can link these away to link 3. This is an old card, I think, TG Trident Launcher. If this card is link summoned, you can special summon 3 TG monsters, 1 from your hand, 1 from your deck, and 1 from your graveyard in defense positions to your zones. So this card's 0.2. And then you are also locked to TG monsters, but this is not a problem. We special summon the one thing we have in our hand, the TG card, and that's why it only has to be a TG card, because at this point it matters that we can special summon the guy. Only has to be a TG monster here. We resummon the Screw Serpent and then we also summon from the deck the Tank Grub, which is also an old card. If this card you control is used as synchro material for a TG monster, you can treat it as a non-tuner, and if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material for a TG monster, you can special summon a token. That is what we are going to do. We are going to use the Screw Serpent and the Tank Grub to make the new Mighty Striker here, and now we will get the token from the Tank Grub and we can activate Mighty Striker's effect. If this is special, you can synchro it, you can add 1 TG Spell Trap from your deck. We will add also a new card, I think, might also be an old one, TG Close When the Spell Trap card or monster effect is activated while you control a machine TG monster, negate the activation if you do destroy that card. This is basically an Omni Negate. It's also like a counter trap, which obviously makes it very strong, though we will probably don't need it because we will summon the King Calamity and our opponent will not be able to play the game at all. We use the token here and then the Raptor to make the TG Star Guardian, which can now activate to get us back the Rocket Salamander from the grave, and then it can also special summon the Rocket Salamander from the hand. Rocket Salamander now, because we control, I think it's because we control, if you control a machine TG monster, you can target 1 level 4 or lower TG monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense. I special summoned it in attack. This is obviously wrong. You will have to special summon it in defense, but it doesn't really matter. So we could not use the Salamander's effect when we first used him because we didn't have a machine TG monster, which we have now at this moment. The Trident Trident launcher here. Now, as you can see, we have a lot of materials. We use these two here to go into another over Dragonair, so we definitely will need 2 for this card in your extra deck, but this should not be a problem. Now we are setting the TG close, and this thing here, and this is what we are doing on our opponent's turn, as it reads here, once per turn during your opponent's main phase, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. So we will have to use the Mighty Striker and then something else here. And what we want to go into, you will see in a moment, the King Calamity. So this is now our opponent's turn. We will activate the Mighty Striker here in the main phase, quick effect. We will use these 3 synchro cards here to go into our Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. When this card is synchro summoned, you can activate this effect. For the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects on the field. So this basically says your opponent has basically skipped the game. He can obviously set like a card face down or something, but he cannot really play the game, can't activate anything. So he basically has to pass over back to you, which you will then have a 2200 attack monster on the field. Obviously, we will declare the effect, 4000 monster on the field, and you still have whatever you have summoned here. In this case, the Rush Rhino is still on the field, and you can use it the next turn. So you see, you will only need the Rush Rhino to fulfill the condition for this Trident launcher here. And we can now get into the King Calamity, locking our opponent out from playing the game. So even though the TG archetype will definitely not be the most insane one or the strongest one in the game, this can definitely remove, by the way, also a new card. This can definitely make a really strong end board. Being able to summon a King Calamity is really strong, and in my opinion not that hard to summon the guy, because of the limiter removal you will definitely play at 3. Then you will also, as I already said, always have a discard, and then having one of your TG cards in the hand will not be the biggest thing. So not the most or the hardest to achieve combo ever. Let me know in the comments what you think of this combo. I think this is probably the strongest thing that this deck can achieve, in my opinion, because this is basically a game over play. Sometimes there are situations in which your opponent will be able to continue playing the game after he has been Calamity locked once, but in most cases he just won't be. So it remains to be seen how strong this will be. Obviously we have cards like Droll and Lockbird, Nibiru, which this definitely plays into, but that's just how it is. All combo decks basically do. We can't really avoid this. Obviously you will play Crossout Designator and then the Called Buys to be able to basically escape the trap of the Maxi, the Droll and Lockbird, and maybe the Nibiru. But yeah, I think this is what the deck can do. This is the strongest point it can achieve, in my opinion. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of this? Will you invest into the TG cards, or have you already invested into the TG cards? Are you excited? And let me know how your launch day is going. Maybe you have watched the live stream or are watching the live stream, then I'm very happy. Otherwise, thanks for being here. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, hitting the thumbs up and the notification bell, and we will see each other in the next one.